I'm in the back.
Usually you play certain teams in exhibition games for a reason, because of the way they play or certain things you
Yes.
practice. Is this one of those or not?
Yes, Rick has got, usually you get to play some Division II teams. All their big guys run around shooting threes. They play 5 guards against you. And it's really not conducive to getting ready for the regular season. So Grand Valley's got some size. And that's just the way he kind of recruits and coaches. So they play more like a Division I team, in that they're not going to run around and shoot 35 threes against us. They got some bigger guys that can hold their own physically. And so we'll have to, we're going to have to box out or we'll get hurt on the glass. I just learned over time it's counterproductive to play a team that doesn't have any size at all. So plus Larry and he are good friends, and he does a good job. But really, it's more their style of play.
Anything in particular you're looking to see?
Well, we just need to play somebody else and put the uniforms on. Personally, got to try to start working with rotations. You don't have to worry about substitutions when you're scrimmaging each other. And we had a private one on last Thursday, and it was pretty much the same. Really good scrimmage. But again, I didn't have to worry about rotations. So trying to figure out playing time and how much can you play Corey and Octavius together. I think all our perimeter guys are going to see minutes, and it's just going to be a matter of who's better with who and those types of rotations.
So we'll see Corey and Octavius together tomorrow for a
Possibly. We'll see.
You've got you'll play a lot of guys, obviously.
Yeah.
Who are the 5 going to be?
I have no idea who's going to start.
Yeah.
I can tell you that everybody's going to play, and our game plan, for us to have a great season, we've got to develop our depth and our bench. I've said this for a while, we're never going to win a national championship here playing 6 guys, because unless we get to the point where we can get 4 lottery picks that come sign with us. Depth is going to have to be important for us. Now this year, because of our style of play and the way we're trying to play on offense and playing much faster, and where the pace of the game is going to be very different from the way we played last year. So that being said, our bench is going to be really important. You'll see frequent subbing. We're going to have to, because of the pace at which that we're trying to play at on offense, as far as pushing the ball way faster and moving the ball more, and people moving at all times. A lot less standing around.
Is that because you're a year older, or the shot clock, or a combination?
A combination of shot clock stuff and stuff we tried to work on last year, but you can't build Rome in a day. We just had a completely new team last year, and we had to do what we had to do to win games. And it's just a continuation of the things that we were trying to accomplish. But when you're in the second year of a team, this is like year 2 of the project. So the thing we were able to do last year was get our toughness together, get our defense and our rebounding together. And the last horizon for us is to be able to spend time on offense, the time you need to spend on offense, to really be highly efficient, and get kids to be able to read the defense instead of having to call play every time. That's the biggest difference. I think with the shot clock coming down and the way I think teams are going to press to shorten the clock, that you can't come out of a press offense and yell set it up and look back to me at the sideline for a play call. And I think that benefits the defense. So we've worked really hard on trying to keep the ball flowing and the kids to play off each other and get the best shot we can get on the attack without stopping the ball and looking over towards the sideline.
So when you talk about increased tempo, you're not just talking about transition. You're talking
No,
about...
I'm talking about the way we move on offense, the way the ball moves and our people move. I've been using a football analogy with our players is no huddle offense, and more importantly, not getting to third down and long, late shot clock, where you're trying to score against a set defense late in the shot clock. So just trying to keep the pace of our attack up on the team that's playing defense against us. and it's, the guys have done a great job with it. I'm personally interested to see how it's going to be when we actually get the sub, because we've been doing it in practice without, really without perimeter subs.
I'm sure, I would think they like playing that way.
They're going to like scoring more points. I know that. If we can produce a lot more points, everybody's got more numbers. That tends to make the players a lot happier.
Looking at minutes, is this a situation where you're not going to really want anybody over 30 because you're trying to keep everybody fresh and in a perfect world? Obviously,
your first exhibition game of the year, you need to get everybody some playing time. When you're playing a game that doesn't count, there's no need to panic in the game. So you only get to play 2 of them. So you got to make sure you're getting everybody some run, and you got to make sure that if you want to see certain combinations together, you got to play them. You can't worry about the scoreboard. So it'll be somewhat scripted.
but I mean, getting into November and December to keep everybody fresh and play in that fashion, you're not looking at having guys at 33, 34 minutes a game.
Depends what kind of shape a guy's in. Some guys can play at a fast pace and stay in the game. The older guy, the guy that's in a better shape. So we'll see. We'll see who, The other thing is the foul issues. We're going to see how that unfolds. I just watched the Louisville Bellarmine tape, and I saw absolutely no change in the way the game was officiated versus everything that I had heard. So I haven't seen a lot of change in our 2 scrimmages that we had in the tape I just watched. Now, I've heard a lot of stories about all these fouls being called in scrimmages, but I sure didn't see it in a game I just watched. So it'll be interesting.
Is everybody healthy, available?
For now, we're day by day. Day by day, we still got to practice, so we'll see.
You're also day by day, right?
We're all day by day. I keep trying to explain that to everybody. Nobody believes me.
I believe you.
You touched on the rotation and depth quite a bit during this little segment here. How comfortable, how deep do you feel like you guys are? Are you 10 guys deep? Are you 9 guys deep? Or is there too much depth?
No. You can never have too much depth as a coach. Whenever you got options, it motivates guys to play the way you want them to play. Because if they don't, then you got somebody else to play. So depth is the great motivator. It also is a huge weapon against your opponents, especially if you're trying to use your depth. I've always been a big believer in playing that way and trying to wear down your opponents. So hopefully we're as deep as we want to be. And I think it's going to come down to our freshmen. All our returning guys are ready to play. It's going to come down to how much our freshmen can play. And I'm talking about play real minutes against the better teams and at crunch time minutes. They've been good so far, but that's what tomorrow night's about. Yes, it's got to get started for them. So tomorrow night will be big for them to get their first chance to get out there and see the crowd, put the uniform on, get in. You got to get rid of all those jitters before next Friday.
Any chance of a platoon, kind of how they were?
No, 0. 0. The only platoon I know was a movie with Charlie Sheen.
And just kind of off the cuff here, but with all the success that the football side of the conference is having, do you see some of that kind of maybe bleeding over into basketball? Because I feel like this conference has been shorted, a team in the tournament the last couple of years.
No doubt.
Can you guys take some of that positive momentum and put this in the basketball side of this league?
Well, I think the football conference winning and having undefeated teams and as well as it's done is good for us, big, because we're a new conference. That people don't know our logo, our symbol. Trying to get representation on the NCAA tournament committee. Anything that's positive that gets the American Conference out there helps all of us. So I don't know if it does, but I sure hope it does.
Thanks, Coach.